You know that feeling when you're scrolling through your phone and you stumble across that half-finished novel you were writing 3 years ago? Or that online course you paid for but only watched 2 lectures of? Or maybe it's the guitar gathering dust in the corner, the one you swore you'd master by summer. If you're someone who never finishes what you start, you've probably been called lazy, uncommitted, maybe even flaky. But here's the thing, your brain isn't broken. It's just wired in a way most people don't understand. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine your mind is like a garden. But instead of planting one tree and watching it grow tall, you're scattering seeds everywhere. A little poetry here, some coding there, a pottery class on Tuesday, a business idea on Friday. To everyone else, it looks like chaos, but to you, every seed feels like possibility. And that's where the psychology gets fascinating. See, people who never finish what they start aren't afraid of hard work. They're actually addicted to something far more intoxicating, the beginning. Psychologists call this the novelty effect. Your brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical, when you encounter something new and exciting. The first guitar lesson feels electric. The blank page of a journal feels full of promise. But once the novelty fades, once you hit that awkward middle phase where progress slows and the struggle begins, your brain stops getting its fix. So what does it do? It goes hunting for the next shiny thing. There's actually a study from the University of Chicago that found people experience the highest motivation at the start and end of a goal, but almost none in the middle. They called it the goal gradient effect. The middle is where dreams go to die, not because you're weak, but because your brain literally can't see the finish line yet. It's stuck in the fog, and the dopamine has dried up. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some researchers argue that people who constantly start new projects aren't actually failing at all. They're exploring. They're what psychologists might call scanners or multipotentialites. These are people with wide-ranging curiosity who thrive on variety and cross-pollination of ideas. Think of them as intellectual nomads. They're not meant to settle in one place, and history is full of them. Leonardo da Vinci famously left dozens of projects unfinished. His notebooks are littered with half-sketched inventions and abandoned ideas, and yet we don't call him a failure. So maybe the question isn't why you can't finish, maybe it's why you feel like you have to. We live in a culture obsessed with completion, with crossing things off lists, with the grind and the hustle. But what if your strength isn't in the finishing? What if it's in the starting, in the dreaming, in the connecting of dots no one else can see? What if all those unfinished projects aren't failures, but blueprints for a mind that refuses to be put in a box? Now, I'm not saying discipline doesn't matter. It does. But maybe instead of forcing yourself to finish everything, you give yourself permission to explore, to follow curiosity without guilt, to understand that your brain isn't wired for monotony, it's wired for wonder. So the next time someone asks why you never finish what you start, smile, because you're not unfinished, you're just endlessly beginning, and that might be the most human thing of all. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about the projects you've started and what they taught you. And if you want to explore more about how your mind works, stick around. There's so much more to uncover.